At Brookdale Intermediate, a school nestled between rolling hills and crisp suburban sidewalks, no one noticed Wren Davis unless she raised her voice, and even then, not always. 15 years old, quiet but calculated, Wren wasn't the kind of girl to scream or shove. She studied people the way others studied equations, for patterns, foretells. She lived with her grandfather in a cluttered townhouse filled with books and jazz records. He called her Stormwatcher, because she always knew when something was about to break. And today, something was about to break. It started like any other gray Wednesday. Rain slid quietly down the cafeteria windows, smearing the world outside into a watercolor mess. Wren slipped out during fifth period lunch, waving a laminated hall pass without waiting for approval. Mr. Declan, her history teacher, didn't look up from his laptop. She counted every step, 34 tiles from the lunchroom to the East Wing's abandoned faculty restroom. No one used it anymore since the water pressure went weird, but Wren liked it. It was out of the way, forgotten. That kind of quiet had its own gravity. But when she turned the corner, she saw them. 3 boys, Easton Bale, Cooper Grant, and the silent one, Rafe Nichols, leaning against the lockers like they'd been summoned there. Easton had a toothpick between his teeth, even though it was banned. Cooper bounced a tennis ball in his hand. Rafe just stared. Wren didn't flinch. She didn't even slow down. She walked past them and slipped into the bathroom. Clicked the lock on the stall. Waited. They followed, just like she knew they would. The door groaned. Footsteps echoed across the grimy tiles. "You in here, Rennie?" Easton's voice, thick with mockery. "You good?" Silence. "You still mad, 'cause we made you look dumb in class?" Cooper laughed, loud and thin. "It was just a joke." Rafe didn't say anything. That was his thing. His silence was more dangerous than their words. Wren's phone was already recording, tucked perfectly in the corner of the stall atop a roll of industrial toilet paper. She'd pressed the button twice before she even entered the room. She didn't plan it all, but she'd known something was coming. She always did. "Maybe she's crying," Cooper mocked. "She ain't the type," Rafe finally said, his voice low, almost disappointed. Wren's heart wasn't racing. Not because she wasn't scared. She was. But fear had shape now. It had strategy. She stepped out. Phone in hand. The boys didn't move at first, surprised, confused. Then Easton's face shifted. "You recording?" "Keep talking," Wren said flatly. "You're doing great." Cooper reached for her, but she stepped back, steady. "Don't," she warned. And then, like fate had been waiting just outside the door, someone else stepped in. Sky Morales, sophomore. Wren barely knew her. Sky froze, took in the scene, 3 boys, 1 girl, a phone. "Everything all right?" she asked, not blinking. The boys scattered. Wren didn't stop recording. She walked past Sky, nodded once, and disappeared back into the hallway. But the story didn't end there. Because Wren didn't take that video to the principal. She didn't post it online. She sent it to her cousin, Callie Davis, a college freshman with a podcast called The Unheard. 2 hours later, the audio clip was live. No names, no faces. Just the sound of laughter, mocking voices, and Wren's steady line, "Keep talking. You're doing great." The story caught wind. And for the first time, Brookdale Intermediate had to face the things it liked to keep quiet, the power games, the invisible lines, the kids who never hit but always hurt. The next morning, Principal Merton called Wren in. Not to thank her. Recording students without consent. "I recorded myself," she said calmly. "Still, this could have been handled through proper channels." Wren tilted her head. "I tried those channels. They echo." The school released a statement. Neutral. Vague. Non-committal. But the kids weren't neutral anymore. Some started talking. About the hallway shoves, the whispered slurs, the teachers who looked away. Stories poured out, not just from Brookdale, but from schools across the district. Wren became a name, a symbol. But she didn't want to be famous. She wanted them to listen. 1 week later, Easton, Cooper, and Rafe were transferred. The school updated its harassment policies. Teachers were retrained. And the East Wing bathroom? Locked indefinitely. Wren found a new quiet corner. But she never stopped watching storms.